So this video is going to cover the sled push and pulls for purpose of the demonstration, I guess. Is that how you say that? Purpose of the demonstration?
Got it on point.
We're just going to do the width of the grass so you can see a side angle of what we're doing here. Sled push and pull is a great exercise for beginners, advanced lifters. It's a low barrier to entry, just overall fantastic exercise, and it's a great, the way we've programmed this, if you're following one of our programs, it's either a permanent exercise but most likely a warm-up part of your workouts. So James is going to start with the push element. Now, it's important to note that when you push, you're not pushing with arms nice and straight. You're leaning all the way into that so that your elbows are pulled back into your body. You've got the upper back tension, but more importantly, you're bracing that core.
Yep.
You use your weight and lean into that while driving through the balls of your feet. Now obviously the grass that you'll have access to is probably a lot longer than this, but you're driving that one leg at a time while maintaining that posture. The steps back is important, so we're going to hold on to the actual poles here, but you might have a TRX where you can attach it onto, or you can use a resistance band. So for this demonstration, we'll just hold on to this. Notice how the arms are straight. Everything's done through the lower part of the body. We're using the balls of the feet, we're trying to connect them down into the ground and drive the heels up. So back to the push element. Good, and then driving back. So balls of the feet connect down in the ground. Imagine like a boat, so the front of the boat would hit the water, and then the middle of the boat is kind of making contact, and then as it reaches the end part of the wave, the heel or the bottom of the boat is kind of up off the ground. Mad analogy, but it kind of works.
It's true. You're just coming up like that, nice and controlled.
You're flexing that down. So let me see if you can see here. So the movement is very simple. Regardless of what you're doing here, you want to make sure your posture's up.
Nice and controlled.
Ball of the feet down on the ground. You're rotating down. Heel makes contact.
Drive through.
And I'm driving. I'm pressing that heel down into the ground and flexing my quads.
Yep.
This is going to be great to eliminate knee pain, get the legs warmed up. So if you get any sort of chronic issues with the lower part of your body, this will more or less solve that for you. If you do get a little bit more aggravation while doing this, don't work up anything by a 7 out of 10 in terms of pain. You might have to swap this out for something else if that's the case, but very rarely is that going to happen.
You do not need to do this heavily. You do not need to do this at a running pace.
Yeah.
Oh, I put this weight on and I can run with it. That's not the point. The point is nice and driven through the balls of the feet on the way up, and then nice and driven through the balls, and then the back, and then drive through. Yeah. It's not a run. You're trying to actually connect with the ground with your feet.
It's probably a good point that if you're doing push and pulling, the pull element is always the harder element to do because there's more control, more stability, and very rarely do you walk backwards. So even if you feel you can put more weight on pushing forward, I'd probably have 5 kilos, 10 kilos, maybe 0 in the sled, depending on how heavy it is to start with. Get the movement, because that walking back is going to be a lot more challenging than what you think as you're looking at this exercise.
Yep.
So if you're driving down, you're driving down nice and easy, but as you're stepping back, you're making sure you're not kind of sinking down and pulling through it.
Chest through, arms nice and straight. When you've got a TRX, you're going to be able to make it a little bit longer, so you can come a wee bit further back. So obviously Dale's quite close to this now. You just make the TRX a bit longer, so you can step away, nice and controlled through that feet.
Yeah, and again, just like your walking lunges or any other movement, it's not a tight rope that you're stepping on.
Yeah,
you're stepping on a nice, natural hip width space as you make each of your steps.
Absolutely.
So there's your sled push and pulls.
That's it.